our first jobs, and it was kind of a dream for us to be able to return back to Mendocino and run this business. And we've over the last 6 years been able to expand it with some of the other properties that weren't doing as well, and increase the number of units that we had. And the McCallum Suites is a property we bought in 2004, and so I'm going to quickly share with you the agenda that we have for the day. Get this thing to work. So I'm going to turn it over to Jared, and he's going to give a quick legal presentation. He's done some work on some of the case studies out there, and done a significant amount of research on the history of this, and so he's prepared some detail around this project. He's also given you a letter, I think, that's in your packet that we gave you earlier last week. I'm going to take it over from there and go through a very brief historical timeline. I think you're all pretty familiar with it, and review some of the relevant staff findings from the town plan update that's just been completed. Then share with you what we believe the two options for approval are today, and I want to address head-on some of the objections that I'm sure you'll hear today and you've heard before, and some of our remarks around those, and then really just conclude quickly with a slide on why I think you can vote for this project today. So with that, I'll turn it over to Jared for a short presentation.
Thank you, Jed. Members of the board, I'm Jared Carter. I have submitted to you a letter. I hope you have it in your package. I personally don't think the legal issues are very significant, and I certainly don't agree with the staff's position that it's premature for you to act. There are a couple of points that have been made from time to time in the past that somehow or other a decision rendered in 1992 by Judge Cox has something to do with what your power and authority is. That is not true. I've explained that in the letter I gave you, and I've got a copy here to give you of a 2004 order that in effect completely amends and expunges the Cox order, and the last paragraph of which says the court hereby dismisses this action in its entirety and surrenders all continuing jurisdiction over the parties and or properties in this manner. So let me make sure you have a copy of that. The other issue that is often talked of to say that this board should not act, that any act is premature, is the statement that you can't act until you have a general plan amendment amending one or more tables in the general plan. That is not true for two separate and independent and adequate reasons. The first is, as held by the various cases I've cited from pages 4 to 5 of the letter, what is required for a governing body like yours to take an action like approving a subdivision or approving an application of this type is consistency with the general plan, and in this case, the LCP. Your action has to be consistent with the LCP. Now, there was a time when the courts believed that if a proposal was inconsistent with any provision in the governing plan, then it could not be found to be consistent with the plan. Not an unreasonable position. But the cases that I've cited have held now for some time that There's no requirement of consistency with each and every provision of a governing plan. What is required is consistency with the major policies and objectives of the plan. And who initially determines that? You do. So if staff says, we think this, and you think something else, what you think controls. The other reason that I believe, and I haven't found any particular cases that's 100% on point on this, but the other reason I believe that there can be no requirement that this project be found to be consistent with table, whatever that table number is. I'm apologizing to you for forgetting, and I think it's 13.1 or something like that. But there can be no requirement of consistency with that table because your plan itself and state law requires review and amendment on a periodic basis. Your plan itself says that the tables have to be reviewed and updated, I think it's every 3 years, maybe it's every 4 years. Well, it's now been 16 years, hasn't it? I think it was 1992, and there's been no completed review and amendment. And so my contention is that no one can deny an applicant the right to have a project approved that is in fact consistent with the major objective of balance between visitor serving facilities, residential and commercial. And in fact, consistent with the town character and will cause no adverse impacts, etc. It's illegal, in my opinion, to deny that person that kind of a project on the ground that it is inconsistent with a provision of the plan that has illegally not been updated and amended for 15 years. What you do is you turn the power of development, of government, of decision making over to anybody that wants to drag their feet for 15 years. And I was sitting around comfortably, I might say, and I really enjoyed the last discussion about somebody wanting